has banned Ballroom. Those, that's pretty standard. Pwndnoob, Rob really likes Ballroom. I think Rob likes Ballroom. So that's a sensible ban. Restricted Library, Restricted Courtyard. Courtyard restricted is interesting. I don't see that super often.
Yeah, and I saw in the SpyParty lobby chat, which unfortunately we didn't capture on this. They were discussing it quite a bit. I think Rob saying that Pwndnoob banned a lot of what he wanted to pick.
That's interesting.
And it looks like Manatters is back. You're sounding
Yep,
good now?
I'm here.
Perfect.
Super duper.
Where have we made it through?
I was just fumbling through bans and restricts. Now we're getting to the doubled picks. Rav has decided to double Aquarium, which does not surprise me. Rav doubled Aquarium into me in our a tournament position match, and he seems very comfortable with Aquarium. He seems like he has a really good plan for how to play that venue.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Whenever I'm talking with Rav about his favorite venues, Aquarium always comes up, so I'm not surprised by that. And also, Pwndnoob struggled on it a bit this season.
Yeah, it seems like it. Pwndnoob has picked High Rise, which that seems like a very Pwndnoob sort of venue. It's just a venue where you can look for kind of a lot of behavioral stuff. Rav doesn't seem like a huge fan of High Rise. He did restrict it against me.
Yeah, Rav not a fan of a venue where NAI is going to finish any percentage of the time, really, just because he's so consistent at catching things.
Yep. Then we get single picks of Courtyard from Rav and Modern from Pwndnoob. Courtyard's pretty standard to see as a single pick, and it was restricted, so Rav may have just counterpicked that. I don't know how Pwndnoob feels about Modern.
Yeah, me neither. I actually don't have much experience with Pwndnoob on Modern, so
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how he plays that.
Yeah, that's an interesting pick. So that's gonna be a fun set.
And it looks like we're almost ready for the first game.
Yeah, we're still waiting here. See, I'm still on waiting for players to set up game.
Correct.
Okay, I saw there was a game ended prematurely, so I want to make sure.
Yeah, they've been given the go-ahead. It looks like their first game is loading in now.
Yes, I see it now. I've got it up.
All right, you want to count us down?
I will do that. So let's get started in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Got Pwndnoob as Kane here. We're going to step in and try to predict where Duke is going to stop, and he does stop in this conversation. Get a white flirt.
Yeah, really fortunate to get him to stop in this pretty full conversation, actually. You're not going to be able to pair anybody really well.
No, yeah, we had a lot of people stop in conversation here. It kind of looked to me like Duke was going to go to a bar, but he did stop in this conversation, so that was a nice little break for Pwndnoob there.
Yeah,
progress and hang out.
Unfortunately, we can't really get anything done behind this middle shark just because there's no missions nearby.
No, Ambassador is going to go over to this front conversation, and I think he's going to be... We've got Small Man standing right next to him, and the shark's going to come in front, but Amba leaves, so no threat of a Small Man bug. He's got a book anyway. Pwndnoob is going to go into this double agent conversation with the double agent by himself, and is Duke going to come to us? He doesn't. He goes to the blue books. Green books, sorry.
Yeah, we almost got another break there from our seduction target because we do not have very much mission progress.
Yeah.
I know that Noob on Aquarium will like to get 2 missions done very quick at the end so that you can hide behind the shark for the full 10 seconds, but sometimes it's very tough to line up if you're behind early on.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that we left this conversation. We could have waited to see if the contact got a little bit better. We take a green time ad here. Very surprising to do that in the front window, but it's at a time where I wouldn't really think to look for a time ad, so Noob might just be looking to just not be suspected for a time ad there.
Yeah, and if Rav were anything but a camper, I think that Pwndnoob might have just got a low light there for just innocently flirting when the ambassador came conveniently next to Arcane.
Yeah, we didn't have the shark in front of us, so we weren't going to be able to take that bug anyway, I don't think. I think it probably would have been seen. But we're moving around a fair bit. We might go try to get this contact now. It was a really bad contact earlier, but it's getting a little bit better now. We'd still like to get 1 or 2 more people in conversation, maybe, I think.
Yeah, I think you'd like to get just a bigger percentage just so that you can hopefully guarantee that SDA is in the conversation. Because
Maybe when green dress lands here, we might take it. Maybe right for red dress or twin. But we're getting a bit of shuffling around. Might just take this contact anyway, I think.
yeah, it looks like a good contact from Pwndnoob's perspective, but with Seek being out, there's not very many people that this is going to be a mission for.
Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. But we don't take the contact anyway. We're being very patient about this. If I were Rav, I'd almost be tempted to think that Kane's kind of less suspicious here because we stood in this conversation. Oh, here comes the real BB. It's not super great. We have a couple of people walking around now. We lost a couple of highlights. It's not too bad, but we don't have the SDA in conversation. So if Rav keeps in mind that Green Dress and Kane are the ones with real, we could be in trouble here, but Green Dress might be suspected as well.
Yeah, especially since she joined the conversation a bit later.
Yeah, I believe she has inspects. She's doing an innocent book return, though. We're starting to run a little bit short on time here. This time ad is now off the board, and we still need to get 2 missions done. We've got our Seduce finished, but we got the shark coming by, but we can't really do anything with it. The Embed's a little bit too far away to do a walking bite or anything like that.
Yeah, so when Irish was at that bookcase just doing an innocent return, she actually got safetied off on. So I'm not sure if Rob knows where that book came from.
It's possible that he thinks that there may have been a microfilm. So let's see what he does now that Irish is getting this drink, because he may suspect a delegate coming.
Yeah, and if Noob can predict that, then that's a pretty easy frame, I think, for him. Just he knows for sure that she has real BB.
Queen is leaving a space open if we want to go take it, but we don't. And Queen did not go to bar, which would have been very interesting. We're going to step into statues instead. This is a very late to get a first inspect, so I'm interested to see what the plan is here. A swap, that's what the plan is.
Yep, we get a green swap here. Not sure if a shark is going to be in the way for somebody else swapping it. Looks like it will if it happens really quick.
Yeah. We're going to take a bug. I think that's seen. I think that Rob saw that bug. He zoomed in and wants to shoot Kane, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, here it comes. Oh, we're not going to shoot right away. I'm surprised. We might be waiting for the statue. Nah, we're just going to shoot it.
Yeah, Pwndnoob, it looks like there was waiting for the high shark to come back across.
Yeah.
So that he could stay behind it the whole time. But Rav sees that plan, sees Alice is at that statue, and takes the shot.
Yeah, I think that was kind of a tough game for Noob. I don't think that there were really a lot of good bug opportunities, which is what you really want to see on Aquarium. And so I think we just kind of had to force the issue there at the end of the game. We didn't really have a great plan for finishing. I think that maybe the best thing to do would have been to try to frame Green Dress for the delegate. But I think that might have worked, I think. But sadly, we didn't take that opportunity.
Yeah, I think so too, because if Rob was going to miss shoot that game, it was definitely going to be on to Irish.
Yeah, I suspect that he didn't know where that book came from, so may have suspected a direct transfer there. She was the only other one with real BB, so. All right, I've got the next game up. We've got Rav playing as Alice, looking for to try to go up 2-0.
Yep.
All right, let's get it started in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Rav, I've had a little bit of experience with Rav on Aquarium here. He really likes to do things behind the shark. He does not, I think, want to be on screen doing missions as much as possible. So we're going to look to see if Rav gets opportunities behind the shark here.
Yep, and I think that we're maybe setting up for that right now we joined that conversation when it was just Ambassador. Maybe him to stay.
This is not a low shark, though. We don't really have an opportunity to do anything with the Amba here. We might just be biding our time. At the very least, it doesn't look suspicious to be here in particular. We might be waiting for this briefcase. You have the option to take it now. Looks like Duke is going to go for it, though. And he's low lit. He must be low lit for some sort of pathing behavioral thing.
It looks like 3 people got low lit at the start of this game.
Yeah.
Not sure what for.
Yeah, that's not something that's not surprising to see from Pwndnoob. He takes a lot of lowlights for things that I could not even begin to understand, but are often correct. Yeah, here we see an animation, a green transfer behind, just barely behind the shark. I don't know if that could have been seen. I think that Pwndnoob might actually suspect it.
Yeah, If he was looking at the legs, I think that they might have also been on screen. It seemed like it was a little bit early.
Yeah, I think that the legs may have locked up a little bit in that kind of idle reset that you do when you animation transfer, and I think that Noob may have seen it.
And if that is the case, then Alice is not in a very good spot to finish any missions.
No, it's also possible that I just know that Rov likes to go to bookcases when the shark is passing by, so anyone who is obscured by the shark, you do have to credit them a little bit. If Rov goes back to green books, I think that Noob will be quite aggro towards him. So we're going to see what Rov does here. We have a really good contact shaping up, but we leave. I'm a little bit surprised.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting, and that's the kind of thing that can get you back down to neutral light against Pwndnoob.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He sees that both double agents are in conversation and they're relatively full, and somebody just straight up leaves the conversation.
Yeah, the only thing that, he might suspect that that's not the real DA in this case, if he thinks it's Alice. But it's hard to say for sure. Oh, we take the bug as we're walking by, but it doesn't take that. That was half crossing you like that. We didn't get a favorable bump. I don't think that Noob saw it though.
Yeah, only a little bit of
In the red.
a back and forth path there, but two of the fastest characters, it's really hard to get that bug to take.
We're safetying off on Tex. I don't think that was on Alice.
I don't know which one it was on, actually.
I don't know either. We do have Tex as a highlight. I'm not sure what he's highlight for. It's interesting because Alice was the last one. Rov was the last one to enter conversation before that BB, so it does look a little bit suspicious for him. But he might just hate Tex for some reason.
Wow, that is back-to-back times that we've been in pretty full conversations and with the real DA, and we did not take the double agent.
Well, no, we took the contact, but we're dead because we went to green books and did the animation transfer.
Yes, indeed.
That was not behind the shark. That's a little bit surprising to see Rov not take a better opportunity there. Maybe just hoping that Noob wasn't looking for it. But for your second bookcase visit, I would definitely want that to be behind the shark. I would not want to risk white testing and dying there.
Yeah, and I think that really is what he's going for there. If he greens, it's maybe still behind the shark, but that white test is just really exposed.
Yeah, white tests are just deadly, especially on a map like Aquarium. If the shark's not there, then everything is visible that's not covered by the shark. So it's going to be seen, even in peripheral vision. But I do think that Noob was probably suspecting Alice, at least a little bit. So the return to green books was probably not a good look.
Yep, and so we have 1-to-1 sniper party so far. And it looks like Noob is breaking out the Smallman for game 3.
Oh boy, here we go. All right, so we got Pwndnoob on Smallman, and 3, 2, 1, playing it. Yeah, so Smallman, very known for doing cheesy plays on Aquarium. His small stature makes him even easier to hide behind the shark, so we're going to see what Noob does with that. Noob definitely is someone who will try cheeky plays with Smallman on venues like Aquarium. But we're kind of just chilling out in this conversation for now.
Yeah. So Pwndnoob, obviously an avid Smallmaner. He likes to pull out the Smallman whenever he can. On Aquarium, it's a really interesting choice because you don't have the speed that some of the other characters have to stay behind the shark in different ways or to get behind the shark quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But what he can do is be almost invisible hiding behind Tex or Taft in a conversation.
Yeah, we may have been looking to get a nice contact there, but the DA unfortunately leaves, so there's really not much else for us to do in this conversation. We're probably going to leave pretty soon.
Oh, that bug was very...
yeah, no, that was...
So you're not picking Smallman for your 90-degree to the sniper reverse drive-by bugs?
No. Unfortunately, Smallman, yeah, one of his weaknesses is that his arm does come out quite a bit when he bugs, and it's pretty visible, and it was visible there. Not much more to say about that. We really needed more shark cover.
Yeah, and so looking at it from the perspective of this tournament, obviously Pwndnoob is a very highly seeded player, and Rov was something like the 14th seed, I think. But that does not in any way tell the whole story. Rov killed it this season in the SEL and is currently in the second round of the tournament of positions, so he is no slouch. And then Pwndnoob, I would say, has the most variance of any of the players in the SpyParty PAX Invitational,
Mhm.
just because he can do some of the wildest things that'll work, and then he can also sometimes take the biggest risks that don't work.
I absolutely agree, and that's what makes this matchup so interesting to me. Is that Pwndnoob is like absolutely brilliant at times, but does take a lot of risks that can get him in trouble. And Rov to me is just an incredibly solid player who does not make a lot of mistakes. Rov has less competitive experience, of course, being in Iron this season, which is so it's his first SpyParty competitive league season. But he did win Iron, and I really do think very highly of Rob's ability. I've been hyping him up since before he won the division, even.
Yeah,
And yeah, I really don't think that he's much of an underdog here at all.
no, I think that he's pretty much starting to get considered as one of the best players in SpyParty.
Absolutely, I think that's well deserved. But Pwndnoob is definitely a very good player, difficult out. So we're gonna see how this goes. I think we kind of had a little bit of a disconnect here, but we're getting started again. We should be on game 4 with Rov as green dress.
That's what I have.
Yes,
All right.
give me 1 second. Ready.
Yeah. Okay. We are getting started in 3, 2, 1. Playing it.
And Rob is not going to be able to get a really early mission done, starting with a drink far away from seduction target and ambassador. So we're just going to chase the seduction target to the bar and get a 51% to start out the game.
Yeah. Nice green test. This flirt may not be completely free against Pwndnoob, but it's pretty common when your seduction target's at the bar. It's pretty easy to go to the bar and get that flirt.
So it looks like this game, people that started out going to statues before anything else all got low lit. I'm not sure if that's what happened last game. If that was Pwndnoob's highlight strategy.
I don't recall. We did see this sort of thing happen in our previous match between Rio and Opie, and that had interesting results. So we'll see how that goes here. Rov did not go to statues, so he did not get a low light.
Yeah, there's also a different dynamic here where Pwndnoob is extremely likely to change somebody's lights, whereas I think Ryu is not nearly as likely.
Yeah, we're gonna take this bug behind the shark. Pwndnoob absolutely suspects this. The bug was not visible, but the path was very clear. We could see Green Dress's legs underneath the shark very easily. Pwndnoob is still definitely looking around though, so this isn't over, but this is tricky. This is a tricky situation for Rob. We're gonna have to see what he does.
And honestly, I think that might have gotten suspicion to go there even if the ambassador wasn't involved. Because, man, AIs do not go to those corners of those windows.
I haven't really noticed that before.
They like to stick to the whole middle section, it seems like. Unless it's the ambassador, he'll go everywhere.
They're going to step in for contact here. This would be pretty good right now. I don't know. The only reason we'd want to wait is because we just entered conversation. I think Pwndnoob's going to hate that if we take the contact right away. But as far as number of people, it can only get worse. Now when SDA steps in and we take it, that actually looks really bad for the other conversation, with the SDA just stepping in, the BB coming off right away.
Yeah, it also makes it seem to Pwndnoob that the Rocker is the real DA. That's the kind of thing that Pwndnoob's going to pay attention to.
Yeah, and that's a bit of a stroke of luck for Rov, who I don't believe really had any reason to think that Rocker was the SDA. Ooh, we get a little head nod there as the SDA comes to us. We can finish this flirt.
Yeah, and we do. So we've got 3 missions done and a minute 30 to set something up behind the shark to finish.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be Rov's plan. We're going to get a nice shark position here and then either try to do a cheesy transfer or a swap, possibly even a purloin.
I would imagine
3 options.
I think that going to left side statues would have been an opportunity like 3 or 4 seconds ago.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure where his shark play is going to be here, because I expect he will finish with the shark.
Pwndnoob had a very dramatic zoom in on the list from the low light Seek here, so he may have suspected a delegate. So that's definitely for certain that Rov is not being laser burned right now. So, but definitely considering that Green Dress is at statues here, decides to take the shot before we can even swap.
Yeah, and I think that Pwndnoob was just making sure that The shark was going to be middle shark coming from the right, just 100% sure, and waited as long as he could, but just felt forced to take that shot.
Yeah, and I think that's probably a good discretion there because the shark Pwndnoob knows that the shark is coming and it's going to cover potentially the spy for the rest of the game. And I think that given that bug past suspicion, I think that was a very good shot. So that was a good decision to shoot there.
And obviously a really well played spy game from Rav.
That was a good sniper game from Pwndnoob, I would say.
Yeah, takes a lot of interesting early decisions, but then sees the things that matter and finds the spy.
Absolutely. So I think that was SpyParty on Aquarium, wasn't it?
It was, and we haven't seen that very much this year.
No, that's a little bit surprising, a little bit disappointing to not see any really good spy wins on Aquarium, I have to admit. But really good sniper play from both players there.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting, I think, to see SpyParty on Aquarium, just because it's happened so rarely.
That's absolutely true. So now we're moving on to High Res, which is Pwndnoob's double pick, and we've got him playing Sorry in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yep, Sorry going to be really noticeable when she.
Are we gonna take the bug right away? Oh, we do a wrong arm with the arm facing the screen, but I don't know. I think Rob saw it. I think Rob expects it.
Yeah, I don't know if he saw it because I mean he would probably just shoot.
Yeah, I don't think he saw the arm, but I think he probably suspected the path. We did have to curve into the Ambassador a little bit, and that's one of the most classic high-res bugs, is Amba standing at the painting pad and crossing over, just bugging on the way there. We may not have been looking at the arm that we did, but suspected it anyway.
Yep, and it looks like Pwndnoob is just going to go ahead and get inspect done. And then he's either going to contact or he's going to take the whole time to just flirt.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I don't know what Rob is thinking right now, because it could be really scary to take this type of shot. The inspect complete AI can do this. I mean, on High Rise, we're gonna try to shake off some suspicion by going back to statues for a third time.
Yep, I always say that the odd number of statue visits on the venues where you have to get 2 sets, the odd number is the least suspicious. 1, 3, and 5.
Yeah, I just don't know if Rob is really gonna give any credit for that. It looks like we're gonna try to step in and maybe do the contact right now, but I don't know if how confident Rob is about this bug and if he'll be able to shoot with well over a minute left on the clock. We'll see.
Yeah, the problem here for Rav is if you're the spy and you've seen Sorry, you've definitely seen her at statues twice. You might not have seen her at statues 3 times, but you've definitely seen her twice. And she just joins with the real double agent. Aren't you out of contact even if it's fake?
We're not taking this contact right away, but there really aren't that many people in contact. Never mind, we're taking the contact. Moment of truth here. If Rav can shoot,
Ooh, the
this
laser
is very fresh, but we're holding our shot. We're looking for flirts, and it's not going to happen because we don't need to. That's going to be a win for Pwndnoob.
Yeah, really strong there to get the contact while the conversations are relatively full and with just a huge amount of heat from missions.
Yeah, I really think that was a winnable game for Rav. I feel that maybe that bug wasn't as suspected as I thought. Maybe we were just highlight for going towards statues. It must have just been a statue highlight. I thought that highlight was a bit early for that, but we just must not have seen the bug at all.
Yeah, it's really interesting when you're staring that hard at a bug. Sometimes you'll be so focused on that close arm that even a terrible wrong arm bug will just get completely past you.
Yeah, that's that's happened to me before, as it turns out.
Yeah, it's happened to a lot of people.
But yeah, so I guess that's tough because if you miss the bug, you're usually going to look for flirt, and Orange Dress was not flirting there because he didn't have to. So that's a tough one. If you miss a bug on High Rise, you're going to lose most of the time.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that Rav may be trying to decide if he wants to keep the mission setup the same. I would imagine that he expected maybe some High Rise games in this set and would have a plan going in on what missions he wants to have. But it looks like he's still thinking about it.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna get the standard fingerprint inspect setup here. So I'm in now. We've got Rov playing as Bling Twin.
Yep.
In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And looks like we're gonna try and get into the conversation. Oh no, she did not go to the conversation, so we're gonna join an empty one.
It did look like she was gonna go there, but yeah, we had to just kind of get into an conversation here.
It's gonna be one of those games. She went straight to books.
Yeah, we're just gonna leave. I'm a little bit surprised by how early we decided to leave there. That kind of felt like maybe an animation break, and Pwndnoob kind of doesn't like those, but that's fine.
I do think that it can be powerful against a sniper like Pwndnoob to maybe get miss flirt paired, go join next to Kane, maybe talk once and then never end up by him again.
Yeah, I really like those types of plays on high rise. It can be very powerful to go to windows to meet someone there and then not chase them the rest of the game. That can really throw me off. So keep that in mind if you play me in the future.
Yeah.
But we don't do anything like that. We're going pretty standard here. We got the green flirt with teal here for 51%.
Yeah, she went ahead and came to us, which is nice.
Yeah, that was really that's gonna help us a lot. It doesn't look like we've chased flirt in this game too much. With that early start and just kind of the empty circle. I don't really have a whole lot we can do at the moment, though, so we're going to go get started on statues. We're going to take this highlight.
Yeah, pretty interesting decision, I think, to start your statues 2 minutes in on high rise. Sometimes it just feels like a play of, well, let's see if 3 or 4 people finish statues.
Yeah, and that can be tough if there's a lot of people who have visited statues, and I think there's been a few in this game. It can be a little bit hard to decide who to shoot. I'm gonna try to come in for this 2 flirt here. Let's see if we get it.
Yeah, really, really nice spot to be in where you get to just follow her once and you get that 2 flirt and she followed you the first time. So flirt is completely done. And I think that's only the second time we've talked, or the third time we've talked in this game.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's gonna help a little bit. We did a drink request there. Was that intentional?
Yeah,
So I think the answer is no.
yeah, I'm not sure. The start talkings and the request drinks, I frequently will misclick those if I'm trying to do a start talk really
Ooh,
quick.
we got a safety off on Kane here. That was a really beautiful contact. We had both SDAs in, and almost I think everyone is in conversation actually.
Yeah.
That contact was perfect, and Kane left that conversation quickly afterwards too. He is going to be on Pwndnoob's hit list right now.
Yeah,
We
he
made
also
our
he
shot.
talked.
He's talking too. Oh my goodness. Oh, but Rov takes a highlight here, possibly for talking. I'm not sure.
I think for talking after Kane joined. I think that that's a
Yeah.
real consideration to never talk next to Kane again.
Yeah, I think we need to. Well, we need to do something. It doesn't really matter at this point. We just got to get a third mission done because it doesn't look like Pwndnoob is raring to shoot Kane anymore, especially not for taking an innocent drink. We're gonna need to crash into this Ampa and try to get a bug. That's the only thing we can do at this point.
And I would imagine it's not going to happen here.
I don't think it's gonna
oh
work.
well, he did that, so maybe it will happen.
Now we're
I think if the Ampa stayed far away, we weren't going to go chase them just to prove to Pwndnoob, hey, I'll time out.
Yeah, that's that's a possibility. You can do that just to show that you're not always going to try to do a mission in the last 10 seconds. But in any case, that bug didn't work out. And
Yeah, the impulse when the ambassador comes that close with 2 seconds left.
I think
like
I think it was worth trying probably. Especially it's possible that Pwndnoob could have been looking at something else and it could have worked, but it didn't. So now Pwndnoob is up 4-2. Going into our second set of high-rise games.
Yeah, the bug at 1 second left or like 0.5 seconds left just sometimes can work purely on the nature of they're already lining up an overtime shot. So they completely miss you doing it. Farah, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
So just waiting for the next game. Sorry. Yeah, High Rise is definitely about a lot of these kind of sort of Yomi mind games. Just trying to play against the most typical spy pacing. Trying to create fake flirt pairings and.
Yeah, campers hate this one weird venue.
This is the kind of stuff I really like the most in Spy Party, so I love playing 3 or 5 High Rise because I just love leaning in that kind of stuff. But it's not quite as silly as Balcony. So, all right, so I've got the next game up. Pwndnoob as Green Dress.
Yep.
Okay, in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Green dress chasing red dress this game.
Yep.
And really chasing her. Goes
Ooh,
straight
going
into her.
but I don't think that's as suspicious as it used to be. I believe that this recent Spy Party patch has made it possible to do this. Guests will go for a little bit less elbow room at these bookshelves now, so I don't think that that's necessarily going to be suspected. I believe that Rob is probably aware of that.
Yeah, he definitely is. I will say that blue shelf still looks pretty cramped.
Yeah, and I also will say that on High Rise, I really feel that chasing guests to bookshelves or windows or even statues is really not that free. You should really always be trying to pair those people and watching to see if they get next to each other in conversation later. You don't have that much to watch on High Rise, so that's really something that you should pay attention to. Spies love to do that early, and Pwndnoob is no exception here.
Yeah, I think Pwndnoob just really comfortable with having a little bit of mission progress in his pocket to see what he can get done here in the next minute or two.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a cheeky bug. Wow. We stopped behind the divider. I think Rav may suspect this. He does. Oh.
So he suspects it, I think, more for the fact that right after we chased Hair again.
It may not have been the best choice to go back to bookshelves with Hair. But I also think that the bug was actually pretty hard to see, I think, but we did have to stop behind the divider to do it, and that may have looked pretty strange to Rav. So I think that we may suspect some shenanigans here. I really like the gumption of that bug, though. I've thought about that type of bug before on High Rise, and I really like to see it in play. I just don't think it works.
Yeah, that's to me that felt like the bug as you're walking past a pillar.
Oh, we have to shoot. We have to shoot. Rav needs to shoot. He's shooting. Oh wow, Pwndnoob got away with that one with the 2 flirt. Wait, was it 2 flirt? Was it 3 flirts?
3 flirt, twice at bookcases, and one there.
I'm surprised that Rob didn't shoot there. He really wanted to, but he just didn't think that Green Dress was done with the flirt, I guess.
Is extremely shocking to me. I think I don't think he suspected the bug. Because
maybe not.
It was completely behind the wall. And I think that when he highlit and went safety off was purely for chasing red dress to that bookcase.
Yeah. Rav does not have the angle to see the bug here on the Ambassador at all. Pwndnoob stops behind that divider and gets the bug completely off screen. So it turns out that Rav really probably didn't have as much bug suspicion as I thought.
Yeah.
The sniper angle is just oof.
It's just completely behind the wall. That
divider, man, is such an underrated aspect of High Rise. The occlusion there is so much more brutal than it really seems.
It gets wider every time I play sniper.
I know, absolutely. So so actually, like I said, I really liked that bug concept. I thought that Rob saw it, but it turns out he didn't. So that bug was absolutely brilliant. I really like that bug.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing that we're talking about when we say that Pwndnoob will make some of the most spectacular plays in Spy Party.
Yeah, and that was definitely one of them. That was just a brilliant idea. Like, just the concept there is great. To stand behind the divider and do a standing bug as she's passing. That's great.
That's the kind of thing that I'm assuming he studied the first replay to see where Rav likes to stop his camera.
I wouldn't be surprised. That seems like the type of thing that Noob would pay attention to that other players might not think of.
Yeah,
and that kind of detail that's the type of thing that you really need to do in High Rise, because sometimes it's difficult to get that third mission, and if you could find a way to get it off screen, then that's great.
Yeah, if you're a little bit off there, and the sniper is taking a wider angle there, then it's the worst bug in the game. Like, you're just getting
yeah.
So
and I just didn't really see the sniper angle, so I thought that Rav suspected it, but not at all. We almost lost the game on chasing Hair to bookcase twice.
Yeah,
which I think was very, very. Like I said, those flirts are not free. You cannot think of them as being free against an experienced player on high rise. Those come with a cost. I treat them almost like inspecs, honestly. But we didn't have that much in progress, so.
Rav may be mixing it up a little bit. He changed to Purloin from Fingerprint, and
Yeah,
now he's
interesting.
doing General.
General, yeah. So we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
So this game is blessed. We've got the correct pairing.
We do. We have Queen as a seduction target, which is personally something I like to avoid, especially on a flirty flirt tracking map like High Rise. I do not want the sniper to be able to make that easy association between General and Queen, but we're gonna lean into that anyway. I dig it. Like I appreciate the boldness of going with the pairing, the canonical pairing. But we're gonna do a respectful distancing here.
Yeah, it's I would call it like ideal spacing in this combo against Pwndnoob because it looks exactly where an AI would have gone.
I agree with that. It really doesn't look very spy-like, and especially since it's the General Queen pairing, you don't want to stand too close to her. I don't think, because then it just creates this. It just makes the sniper wonder a little bit. I think we have a pretty good contact here, but the SJ is not in, which is unfortunate. Or pretty good if like one person enters. No, wait, we do have the SJ in. I'm sorry.
Yep.
So we just get one person in. We could take this contact. It'd be pretty good. We've been standing here for a while, but she goes to bookcase. Well, Twins here. Let's take it now.
Yeah, I think so too. This is about as good as you're going to get, and of course,
Queen splits, of course, too early for the BB split. That's unfortunate, but it's still a pretty decent contact. We've been sitting in this conversation for a very long time. Unfortunately, Small Man's been low lit for Pwndnoob reasons.
Yeah.
So there really aren't that many suspects remaining at the party.
I do think it's pretty unfortunate. Right after that contact, a bunch of things happened that just eliminated suspects for Pwndnoob. So he got a lot more out of that contact than I think Rob would have liked.
Yeah, we cannot take this bug. Noob is definitely watching it, and we don't take the bug, and that's probably a good idea. Oh, but we get highlight anyway.
Yeah, I think for that entry.
Possibly, yeah. We're entering the conversation in the same place that we were before, too, which is a little bit meh.
Yeah,
And we rejected a drink, which is a little bit meh on high rise.
Yeah, believe me, against Pwndnoob, I have experience with getting highlight for rejecting drinks.
Yes. I don't even think that's. I think that's a pretty good idea. We take the instant drink here, though, which may lose us some heat, maybe. But we take the wrong arm bug with the drink. Oh, I think that worked. I don't think you saw it.
Was it with the drink hand?
No, it was with the other hand. It wasn't a drink bug. Yeah, that worked. Rav is going to get a much needed spy win here to bring it back to 5-3. That bug looks really good. We do a little bump against the ambassador there, which is a little bit visible, but we get that wrong arm triggered, and it's completely off screen. The cover's perfect.
It's also in a spot where Pwndnoob might think about, oh, somebody might have walked across a spot in conversation that made General hesitate. Because
that's possible.
When you've already chosen your spot, and General would have already chosen his spot there, if it gets walked over, he might have stutter stepped.
Yeah, and it's not quite General doesn't completely reset his idle there. He's still walking, but it may have looked AI-like, especially after that innocent drink take, which may have, Noob may have just not thought that a bug was coming there. That was really well done. I was kind of thinking, picking General. General has one of the best walking bugs in the game, and that's a very often, for me personally, a comfort pick on high rise, where I know that if I need to get a bug, then General's one of the best characters to do it on high rise. So I'm not surprised to see that we got a win with a bug there on General.
Yeah, also a fairly consistent character for trying to set up a wrong arm bug like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
His walking speed is really kind of average of all the guests, and also he's got a very consistent center of his circle hitbox.
Yeah, and something about his stature just makes him just easy to line up for some reason. I don't know if that makes sense. He just looks natural when he's walking and trying to set up walking bugs.
Yeah, it's almost like he looks natural even when he's bugging, which is kind of unfair.
Yeah. So that was a much needed win from Roth there to take this back to 5-3 and put this in striking distance if we can get sniper win against Pwndnoob on Courtyard as Salmon.
Yep, we'll see if Pwndnoob does a couple laps here to start it out.
All right, we're getting started in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Oh, we're starting the lap. Not we stop conversation here. Predicted that Teal was going to stop there, so we get that flirt. That's nice. We can wait here a bit, maybe try to get a contact. It's not good yet, but it might be soon.
Yeah, it could get good. It seems like 4 people are out right now, which is not very good for Courtyard, but a couple people coming in.
You really want 2 low lights or fewer on Courtyard if you can get it, since people tend to be in conversation quite a bit. We are going to start this real BB, though, even though Queen's getting safety offed on already from Rov, but he's going to be able to knock her out from this BB. That's unfortunate. I don't know what Queen did besides going to statues, but Pwndnoob couldn't have possibly known, so that's too bad.
I don't know, but this would be a really powerful game if Rov wanted to switch his highlights up to real BB. He would have 6 highlights, and he would be confident in that mission count on those people.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's definitely something you could do on Courtyard. Just because you don't have to track the partial inspects, you know, there's not too much to track on Courtyard as far as that. So I think that real BB highlights on Courtyard are very good. We do take a green time ad here. Pwndnoob was really the only one at Windows, but I have no idea if it was suspected by Rov or not.
I think that, Rov is certainly capable of catching time ads when they happen.
Oh, yes.
Or getting information off them afterwards, but I think that he's, especially on Courtyard, so confident in his camping that he probably doesn't feel any need to look for time ads.
I kind of agree with that. I think that Rov is very good at just watching the mission sites on Courtyard and not missing anything here. Pwndnoob is going to go for a fingerprint here. Doesn't take a highlight or anything for it.
Oh, that's really close to return.
It is, yeah. I kind of felt if Pwndnoob had stopped and put the briefcase down there, I probably would not have thought anything of it. That feels like a difficult spot to return to. I'm not certain because it's briefcase, so I'm never certain about anything.
Oh, Smallman, get your low light.
What did he do? I didn't see.
Oh, just the Amba and Toby. He just bounced around them like 3 times.
Yeah.
Something that players just don't do.
Yeah. Rov is definitely not laser burning us right now. He's looking at Alice at statues, kind of.
Yeah, we haven't gone to statues, so we don't have that highlight.
No, we still have a lot of time here.
Yeah, a lot of time, and with our flirt done and 1 fingerprint, so you don't see very many Courtyard games in this situation where there's still 2 minutes left and you've got a lot of time to make a decision.
Yeah, we probably want another fingerprint. Unfortunately, as we've discussed, the ambassador doesn't have space behind them, so Toby's not going to offer them a drink here, which is a really unfortunate position to be in because there are just not that many ways to get fingerprint on Courtyard.
Yeah,
we might want to jam ourselves into and get the ambassador to move away, or we're just going to go get statues. That's also fine.
Yeah, and Taft is actually going to force that ambassador out. He stood close enough.
Yeah, he did. So but then now that briefcase is going to be actually, where did it go? I didn't even see it.
It's underneath Taft's feet. Tex just picked it up.
Yeah, there he goes. I thought the ambassador might actually be close enough to not allow that pickup, but it was just barely far enough away, I think. Kind of an anti-tell there, but we didn't get a low light.
So it looks like Pwndnoob avoided a statue highlight, and I'm not sure how that occurred.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that occurred either. If Rov doesn't know that Pwndnoob went to statues, then we're going to get a win here easily if we take another fingerprint. Ambassador leaves without dropping his briefcase, which is really unfortunate. But he's going into this other conversation circle. He's going to get pushed out quickly. So we're probably going to chase this briefcase after the Amba leaves. Or he might take a drink. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, if he took it really quick, he might have gotten the drink in time. But
here we go. And if Rov did not see Pwndnoob at statues, this is not going to be a shot. He knows that Pwndnoob finished fingerprints. He still can't shoot for it.
Yep, knowing that he finished fingerprints and just earning a highlight tells me that he never saw him at statues.
That's really unfortunate. I think that Rov could have won that game if he didn't miss that statue highlight. Like that's rough.
And now Pwndnoob's going to brag about Courtyard being spy favored.
I mean, that's, it's not that uncommon to miss people
It's really not.
on Courtyard, though. It's really not that. It feels so awful, but it's surprisingly common. especially if you have Ambassador or Toby on the other side and you just kind of slip in there unnoticed, especially if you haven't really been a high suspect at that point. And Pwndnoob was being very, very patient. He had the opportunity to, because he took that time ad, which can be very strong in Courtyard.
Yep. If you can get that time ad to space things out just a little bit more than spies do on Courtyard, that can really be powerful.
What's so strong about time ads in Courtyard to me is that it allows more time for more AI to go to statues and just create a lot more suspects that you have to think about. Because everyone who goes to statues on Courtyard, you have to think about them. You can't just, unless you're like low lighting for them for behavioral reasons, you have to watch them. And that makes it more difficult to track people who go to statues later, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
And
it makes every subsequent person a little bit more suspicious. With every one that finishes, that next one is more suspicious.
Yeah, but if you don't see it, then that's really tough. Yeah, I think that Rav is going to feel bad about that one because he knew that the fingerprints were finished. That's just how it goes sometimes. So Rav is going to need to spy it out on Chwin here to avoid. Pwndnoob is on match point with Sniper here.
Yep.
So we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, I think it also might have worked out for Pwndnoob that he's a character with such an obvious bug that he could not have been credited with a bug that game.
That is kind of true, yeah. Even when we returned the briefcase, it's pretty obvious that Salmon didn't bug, because if he bugged, you would know.
So we can't even get like an incorrect mission count shot there.
Yeah. We're just in a useless conversation here with only one other person far away. This might lose you suspicion against Pwndnoob on anything other than Courtyard, but on Courtyard there's too much to watch for. I don't know if this is really gonna like. Oh no, never mind. We got the low light. We do take the BB though, so I wonder if Pwndnoob's gonna think about that because we do have real BB now.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting situation for that conversation because
it is. Yeah, they come back up.
The two people with the real DA, that's a good reason to be in that conversation.
Yeah, even though the DA came to us, I think that Pwndnoob obviously made a very good decision to bring those lights back up. You absolutely cannot leave those low lights there with the real DA, especially with the DA coming in and the contact coming off right away.
Absolutely.
I think Noob thought better of that one.
And Pwndnoob there was swinging his camera a little bit, maybe trying to bait the bug, but he was doing it in a way that was pretty risky because I feel like Twin can get away with that bug if you're doing it that much.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't even see that we got the time ad. We're getting another one. It's white time ad. And I don't know if Pwndnoob saw it.
He doesn't see anybody at windows. We went around the statue really, really well.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't think we're going to be suspected for the time ad, at least. I don't know if we're going to get low lit for it, though.
I don't either, because I don't know if Pwndnoob even saw it, but Tex just got a highlight for conversation positioning.
Yeah, that's a reasonable highlight to take, I think. I completely understand why Noob took that.
And that's a lot of suspicion from Pwndnoob. That's something he really keeps track of.
Yeah, and even though we do have that real BB, I think that probably Noob doesn't super hard think that Twin is the spy. I think that conversation positioning in the early on is still probably on his mind. I don't know if we're going to get another low light ever again.
I think that was an attempted bug.
Ooh, I think it was too. I agree.
With
Fortunately, it wasn't that bad a fake. We only got one low light off of it.
Yeah, and the second one being the fake, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, I actually think that may have worked out surprisingly well. I don't feel like we're a high suspect right now. I think the Pwndnoob is watching other things. Got a highlight on Small Man here, which is always exciting. I thought he was going to statues. He didn't go to statues.
Yeah, I know that he auto highlights Smallman on almost every venue. He might low light Smallman for talking there, so who knows what he'll do with that highlight.
It's a good thing that we got these time ads because we are being very slow about our flirt progress here, which is not a bad thing against Pwndnoob, who definitely does watch for aggressive conversation entries and the like. But we do need to get some stuff done here pretty soon. We've only got a minute and a half left.
Yeah, and I think that our suspicion stock is going to shoot way up as soon as we hit one of those statue pads.
Yeah. Pwndnoob was zooming in on the list quite a bit there, so may have been suspecting a reject from someone. a reject chain.
And have we haven't
Watching
we
general
haven't
flop. What is this? What is this zoom in? Wow. He really wants to shoot general right now.
yeah, I think so too. And we haven't actually seen a purloin in any of the games so far, so I think
Yeah,
it's actually pretty
that's true.
powerful.
Gosh, if we frame swap general here, it would work. Oh, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Frame swap general. Do it. Do it.
And he's gonna watch this fade though. Oh,
He's
he's
gonna watch
not gonna
the
watch this
fade
fade.
though. Not swapping. Oh,
Not
we
swapping.
didn't. We didn't swap. I'm surprised. I thought that was gonna be a frame swap. Oh no, there's the swap, but it's too late. Too much shot.
Yeah,
Oh,
that I thought that he might have gone to that statue just because he could see the laser lingering for so long,
yeah, that's what I thought too.
but just didn't take that opportunity.
Really wanted the frame swap. I mean, the fade might have been watched anyway, so it might not have worked. But you got to take that chance. I really feel like he wanted to shoot general there, so that's gonna be a win. 7-3 for Pwndnoob. So GG. That was. I think that was still a pretty close set, but
Yeah, I think that set is a lot closer than it seems, especially with Rov holding those two mission win shots on high rise.
yeah, absolutely. I think that Rob's gonna feel a little bit bad about that one.
And it looks like both players are available to discuss the match, so I'm going to bring Rob in and we'll go over it first with him.
Super.
Hey Rov, GG.
Hey Rob, GG.
Heyo.
Tough set.
Hey, GG's. Yeah,
Um,
tough set.
I mean, to start it off, I just want to ask you about the two sniper high rise games because I think that that's where this set swung a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
What was your initial suspicion onto Sari when she did the chaos bug there? Was it just for heading to statues, or was it for the bug?
No, it was a bug. I was guarding it really hard at the start of the round, but yeah, he got the bug at the time when I wasn't kind of paying attention because I was guarding like the first three people around the amber, and then I zoomed out to look around to see what everyone else was doing, and then all of a sudden Sari's there, and I didn't see the left arm move, so I was like, okay, maybe it wasn't a bug, but he got a good wrong arm, so yeah.
Yep, that's kind of what we were thinking. Was that the fact that it was the wrong arm there might have made all the difference.
Yeah, it was a really good bug. I didn't suspect from the angle that he had on the amber that he could have actually got a wrong arm, but yeah, he did.
And then, so the other sniper game, the one that had safety off on the spine
Yeah.
a lot of times.
Yeah. I
So,
really wanted to shoot with a flirt fair, but like the path into the green bookshelf, it was kind of weird because it felt like he took a long time to get there based on
certainly
what
did.
the normal speed was. I didn't actually see the bug, but I was just confused as to why it took him a while to get there, and then yeah,
And I'm assuming you saw on the
it
replay.
was such a nasty bug. It was such
Yeah,
a
that bug. I was such a big fan of that bug. Like,
yeah, it was really
I've
nice.
thought about trying that bug before, but I've never had the courage to try it because you have to stop behind that divider and just do a standing bug and then leave.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Worked perfectly at that angle. Yeah.
But yeah, it seemed like you wanted to shoot him just for flirting with hair.
Yeah, I was very suspicious of him, but both games, like on high rise, you expect the game to kind of last a while. Like to finish early on high rise, I think is really strong against campers. So
Sure.
yeah, he definitely picked the right kind of strategy for high rise.
Let's see. So we saw a sniper party on Aquarium. I'm assuming that in the game where you were Alice and you went for the action test microfilms.
Yeah.
Were you just late on the action test at the right bookcase, or were you just banking on a green and trying to keep it on the tail end of the shard?
Yeah, I mistimed it because I didn't want to leave the conversation mid-idle because he would have seen the idle break probably because Pwndnoob is very onto etiquette stuff. So I wanted to try and get there without having to break idle in the conversation and just mistimed it. So yeah, because the next shark as well was going to be middle shark, so I wouldn't have covered the hand. So yeah. I had to do it quick.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then you were spy in the was it the final aquarium game? I believe it was, where you got shot at the statue.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys talked at all, but it
yeah.
really felt like he felt like he had to shoot you there.
Yeah, I mean, Pwndnoob he's got what 12,000 games and he's plays in Diamond. He knows about the shark cheeses. He knows about the shooting with the setup.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, so he just shot because I knew he was gonna swap and walk behind the shot. But he did get a good highlight for the bug though. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
You got any more questions, Para?
I'm trying to think. Just the courtyard game, sniper, where
Mhm.
Salmon. Did you just not see the statue in specs before? Because it seemed like you had the fingerprint.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like you knew that fingerprint was done, but that the statues were just missed at some point, which happens on courtyard more often than anyone's willing to admit.
Yeah,
So
he definitely got it. Like when I think the Amber and Toby were on the opposite side of the venue, so he got them. He timed the statues really well. But what
yeah,
is kind of
absolutely.
hard playing against Pwn is that he does time lands at at kind of weird times in their games, and
Definitely.
it
Yeah,
throws you off. It
about
throws
that.
like I just lost focus. What kind of what I was watching halfway through that game. It was weird, but
Hmm.
yeah, it's good.
During your sniper game there on Courtyard, you did a few time ads. Um,
Yeah.
the last one
I
that you did, it seemed like you predicted his rotation really, really well. Was that what you were doing? Was going all the way around to avoid being seen?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I kind of tried to get the actual middle of the courtyard to block with his sniper angle.
Yeah, I like that a
But
lot.
I kind of did the same strategy as him in that game to see maybe, or trying to give him a taste of his own medicine in that kind of sense. It didn't really pay off,
Sure.
but what can you do when you're down 6-3?
Talk about the draft a little bit, Rav. I know that it took a little bit
Mhm.
longer. I think you guys were possibly banning and restricting each other's desired venues.
Yeah, I wanted to double ballroom and he banned ballroom, so I was a bit miffed about that. I trying to think about what I wanted to play, and then he restricted courtyard, which is what I was going to double. So I was kind of tossing it between aquarium and gallery, but in the end picked aquarium.
I do think that you made the right choice because it seemed like your game was very strong on Aquarium.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm pretty confident on that map in terms of like shark knowledge because it all kind of revolves around the shark. So if you have good knowledge of the shark, then you should be stronger than you.
Well, good game nonetheless. Even though it was 7-3, it still felt close. And I think, competitions at this high level, it hinges on so little. There's just a couple different moments that, if they swung your way, it could have been entirely different. So good effort
Yeah, for
and
sure.
good games.
Thank you. And GG's to Pound. It was a good set.
Yep, GG's. All right, let's grab Pwndnoob is in here now. Let's get his remarks on the set.
hey, GG Pwndnoob.
GG, congratulations.
Thank you, and GG's to Rob.
So I want to talk about High Rise and I want to talk about the bug.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So did you in the game previously, afterwards, did you study his angles?
No. I mean, that bug's just generally good sometimes.
Okay,
Uh, and I did watch the replay afterwards, and he was flashing me the rest of the game, so I'm kind of happy I went with the riskier strategies of like combining the BB and the flirt into one talk afterwards, because I think if I talked any more, I was dead. Um, and it sounds like, at least from my conversation with Rob during the game, he just thought I got stuck in the wall and thought I was the spy.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
yeah, he also, I mean, he knew that you were flirting with Red Dress because you went 3 at bookcase twice.
Yeah, buddy.
Um,
I'm the
Got
only
that.
regret I have about that set is I didn't do a fourth statue in the other high-res game.
oh, see, I think that you played it correctly because I was saying the odd number of statue visits is the
That's
correct
right.
number.
Yeah, don't do four visits, do 3 or 5. Gotta get the odd number.
Yeah, no,
Um,
just on a like meta note, like I hadn't done any preparation for Rov in particular. I've been a bit busy with Ryu and life.
Mhm.
But the convenient thing for me was this was very similar to the Cody matchup, where I'm playing a very good player, a very good sniper in particular, who has a lot less games than me, but it doesn't mean
yeah,
much.
if you can prepare for multiple people the same way, that can make that prep much easier.
Yeah, so I have all the
Your
innate
so
advantages.
he banned Tayen.
Yeah, go for it.
Sorry, he banned Tayen. Would you have doubled that? I'm assuming if he didn't.
Probably. I didn't really know what I was picking until I saw it.
Gotcha.
But Taeyeon's really good for me and really rubbish for camper snipers.
I wanted to ask you, when you were salmon on your spy win on courtyard, did you know going into it how close you were going to be to that ambassador when you returned the briefcase?
Oh God, no. That's not a legal return. To a point that I got particularly mad at Smallman the next game, going, "Hey, you did the illegal thing that I just did."
Yeah, it felt like you got there and it just all of a sudden, wow, I'm really close to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did like that.
The nice thing about playing someone like Rov is you can generally trust them to know that it wasn't a bug.
Yeah, for sure. I think that made a huge difference in that game, that he knew for sure you didn't bug, because he definitely knew you finished fingerprints.
Yep, that's the power of time ads, though. It feels really awkward to shoot. I mean, he knows that. That courtyard game that we ended on was the hardest game of the set. He did set up for that swap finish, which I was all over because I just thought that he was the spy if it was in general at that point. And I was probably going to shoot him despite the fact that's terrible counting, because if he doesn't swap, then he was trying to do inspect swap as his third and fourth mission. I can just wait for the fourth mission.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of wondering what would have happened if he hadn't swapped, if I had shot it or not. I don't
Uh,
actually know.
I'm wondering what would have happened if he swapped while you were still moving the camera very early.
Oh, I was shooting him for.
Okay.
He was a bit quick to the statue, honestly. If I didn't see the fade, I would have shot him, but I was staring down the fade.
Yeah, fair enough. I thought that the frame swap might have worked just because you were staring in general for like 15 seconds there, but that's yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if I misread the fade, then shame on me. I've done it before.
Mhm.
So I was really happy when you casted my set and you really talked up the fact that I'd like to play Smallman, and you picked Smallman, and I tried to start talking up your game, and then you did a not very Smallman bug. What was the plan with that bug?
You take the bugs when you see them, and I saw the bug and it didn't even stick, so it's not a fair shot.
Yeah, if the bug never happened, then what is he even shooting for?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with Smolin, right? Is his purloins are garbage, his swaps are garbage, his bugs are actually pretty garbage if you don't have the cover. You're really just kind of relying on the fact that you're small. But he's not a good character otherwise. He's
Yeah, one of
like,
the worst actually, if
yeah.
you're not hitting. Um, I believe that you are playing the winner of T Flame and Yeesh. What's your thought on what you want to happen out of that matchup?
So I've played both of them